It's the SKOR North Twins Show. Baseball!
Baseball indeed on the SKOR North Twins Show. State of the Twins every Monday here in season. Mackie, Judd, Dex here. Hit the like button and subscribe button for Minnesota Twins content here. Trevor Plouffe joins on Tuesdays. Even though the NFL is in full swing, we still have takes. We still have observations. Judd was hate texting us the Twins observations over the weekend, so I know Judd has some takes on things he has observed, which I'm excited to hear about here in a longer form episode. So appreciate everyone that does so. A quick shout out, by the way, to Element Hotel, though, who has sponsored the SKOR North Twins Show all season long and dating back to last year. And maybe you're looking for a place to stay. It could be for a Twins game. It could be for a Vikings game, staycation. Maybe you're just coming into town for business. SKORNorth.com/element will give you a 15% off room rate at the Element Hotel, which has free Wi-Fi. Heck, you can bring your pets to the Element Hotel, okay? So great place to stay, located steps away from Target Fields. Yankees fans, there you go. There's your spot. SKORNorth.com/element with them coming to town.
Do you think Yankees fans are listening to the SKOR North Twins Show just like to troll and heighten their mental health going into the week? Is that what they do?
Maybe. You know, I know our friends of the show at Talkin' Baseball, they put out a graphic saying the Twins are eliminated from playoff contention this weekend, which they are. The Twins are eliminated. And they used our guy, Trevor Plouffe, in the photo. Yeah. Our guy, Trevor Plouffe, to say the Minnesota Twins have been officially eliminated. So maybe some Talkin' Baseball fans, maybe some Yankee fans that just love to, oh, God, we've stuck it to this team for so long. What if we just hate listen or just laugh listen to their podcast too? I wouldn't put it past them. Certainly wouldn't put it past them.
Just getting drunk off Twins fans' tears.
Yep. I don't think there's tears now. There was rage, and now I think it's just they're gone.
Probably right. So some key categories here, and key categories being they're 65 and 84. They have an 89 run differential on the season. They're fourth place in the AL Central. They have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. They are 20th in runs scored since the All-Star break. They are 29th in ERA. So there you have it. Twins, those are some key categories there. Some vibes. I guess it's kind of poetic because the vibes for me, and I know we've kind of been skipping vibe checks, but just watching you now be eliminated for the playoffs for the fourth time in the last 5 years feels fitting. Especially ever since 2 years ago, we were just talking about them probably wrapping up the division at this point. Things were exciting. They were lining up to win their first playoff game, which they did. And here we are, 2 years removed from that, consecutive seasons of missing the postseason with rosters that were built, and you at least were pushing yourselves to win a wide-open AL Central. And here you are, in fourth place. I mean, that playoff run was so much fun, and I know we've hatched this a lot, but it's amazing that just 2 years later, here they are missing the playoffs for the second straight year, and the bones of that team and the fun of that team has been completely stripped down.
But besides that, the vibes are good.
Yeah, vibes are good there.
Everything is great except for that. I mean, since we're doing a vibe check here, just I think vibes are... So yesterday, Lynx are playing a playoff game at home. My wife and I went over, had a little lunch at Kieran's, went to... Nice. It's great. These WNBA playoff games are like 2 hours in and out. Got back home to watch the end of the first wave of games on Red Zone, whatever. I know that the numbers will tell you that more people paid for a ticket at Target Field or were allowed in the building. And by the way, for like the early round Lynx games, they basically sell out the lower bowl and they don't open the upper bowl. So yeah, like there's probably more butts in seats. But in terms of priority on a Sunday in September, priority of fans' attention and raucous nature of crowd, Vikings and Lynx somewhere up here. Vikings probably number one in terms of raucous nature of crowd, but Lynx crowd, crazy atmosphere yesterday. Mm-hmm. And then about 10 rungs down the ladder, I'm guessing, I wasn't inside Target Field yesterday for the dramatic series conclusion against the Diamondbacks. And it's too bad, man, because when you go back to the beginning of this ballpark back 16 years ago, you thought with the way that team was coming off a decade of success and division titles and even the first year at Target Field, that way more often than not, September, October, you're going to have some fun fall days watching baseball in that ballpark. And it just has rarely been the case. Like, they just haven't played a lot of relevant games. Or if they are, it's like them trying to avoid a collapse in September like last year. And then 2 years
that was
before
different.
Yeah. So it's just the vibes right now are becoming all too much the norm in the Target Field era and in the Derek Falvey era of the last 9 years.
Yeah. The vibes are dead. I mean, there are no vibes because they're just dead. And a year ago when they fell apart, I think it was frustrating. And that had been a team that was very much contending for a playoff spot. I mean, this team was destroyed on purpose. And you can argue that certainly some of it was fine, but then the poll ads come out a week after that and say, we're not going to sell. And since then, like, it was interesting. It's like right now, we're getting this one last September where it gets humid. I hate this, but it gets humid again and hot again, and it's going to last like 4 days.
Summer's last
Second
gap.
summer.
Yeah.
Second summer.
I feel like the poll ads as owners did the same thing with okay, the trades were done, 10 or 11 guys traded, and like people were pretty much just checking out, which was the best thing that could have happened at the time. And then the poll ads came back with this like shot of summer of their own, which was, no, we're not going to sell. And people went ballistic. And then they just left.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where it stands right now. And it's depressing. I mean, I'm not going to lie. As a baseball fan, it's depressing. And it's hard to get into the pennant races taking place elsewhere when your team has just poisoned the well so badly, which is 100% what the Twins have done. They've poisoned the well. They made it worse.
I'll save it for a category here, either least or most. But I just want to tease that history is on the line at Target Field this week. History is on the line. So there is something to watch
the Yankees for the first time
week.
since 1928.
Beating the Yankees would be history, period. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll let Declan guide us into one of the next categories here.
So let's do a favorite thing. I know that might be a little tough here, but there are some options. So a favorite thing for me, some of the power has been a little bit zapped here lately, but Luke Keaschall is just, to use a classic baseball cliche, is a professional hitter. Just a professional hitter, man. Still hitting .314 on the season. The slug's been down over the last month, but he still finds ways to hit the ball and get on base. He's actually in 42 games already accumulated a WAR of two on the season. So yeah, there's been some journey in the field, but 22 years old, it's hard to come up and dominate like he kind of has in his first almost 200 at bats in his professional career at the big league level, and he just continues to hit. He has the walk-off hit over the weekend. I'm still kind of bullish on some of these young pieces. Walker Jenkins had a home run yesterday in AAA. Gabby Gonzalez resurged his entire Twins tenure from the Jorge Polanco trade. He might end up winning minor league player of the year down with the Twins, with between 3 stops in the minor leagues. So what Keaschall's been able to do, the intrigue here, this is a classic Twins trope. I'm sure there's some eye-rolling hearing of me being like, oh, classic Dex or classic Twins guy being like excited for the young core. However, it's impressive when Luke Keaschall comes up here and is playing as well as he did, and I will give him credit. I will give him credit for that.
I'll be the wet blanket guy here. I know this is favorite Twins things. I can no longer get excited about young players carving it up in the minors or doing what Luke Keaschall is doing in his first 200 plate appearances, because I know what has lurked around the corner for almost every other previous young hitter, and it's just like turmoil and or injuries and or inability to adjust to the league adjusting to you. So I've just been kind of pre-programmed now over the last 8 to 10 years that I think I know what's going to happen to Luke Keaschall unless some big changes are made with the organization. So it is fun to watch him. I mean, the fact that he puts the bat on the ball, he's been worth, for the stat nerds out there, 2 wins above replacement in just 42 games. So if you were to multiply out let's say you bring him out to 130 games and almost 600 plate appearances, that's a 6 WAR pace that he's playing at. And if you give him the full season, it's like more like 7 wins above replacement as a rookie, which would be one of the great rookie seasons ever if extrapolated over the course of a full season. But I don't know. It's just it's hard for me to be super optimistic because we've seen what happens.
It reminds me of a young guy that came up, it was a couple of years ago, and it was in the playoffs. He came back from an injury and hit a couple of huge home runs.
I know.
His name was Royce, I think, and we were super jacked about it, and it was exciting. I'm not sure what's happened exactly to him.
Yeah. Well, he did steal 2 bases yesterday.
I know.
That's one of that's one of my favorite Twins things.
I
They're
still
stealing
like it.
bases.
I still like Royce, but my point is, you talk about a guy who's had the baseball life sapped out of him. It feels, like it doesn't. I will say this from an eye test standpoint with Royce, it doesn't look like baseball is a ton of fun, which is a shame.
I don't know how it would be for him.
No, I'm sure it's not.
Point.
But when he came up, that guy looked like Ernie Banks Let's Play 2 every single day. I don't blame him, and it wouldn't be fun. But my point is, it's a shame when you play a sport the kids play for your professional life, and at some point in time, it just becomes not just mundane, but like painful to be around.
Yeah. My favorite current Twins thing is the drama at Target Field this week. So they have 3 games against the Yankees, and then it's 4 games, including the doubleheader on Saturday.
I can't wait
against Cleveland. Is that doubleheader on Saturday a split doubleheader or a traditional doubleheader?
It's split 110 and 610.
Okay.
2 admissions.
And I ask because the Twins right now are 188,000 fans, if the math is right on Baseball Reference. 188,000 fans to get to the previous low attendance at Target Field, which was in 2022, which you could argue, like, that's still, some people were still a little skittish about being in, like, places with 20,000 other people post-pandemic, but they would have to average then, so that's 7 games. If that's 2 gates on Saturday, that's 7 games. 188,000 divided by 7 is just shy of 27,000 ticketed fans per game this week to avoid being the lowest attended season in the history of Target Field.
So that Cleveland game that they're going to make up has the tickets sold already from the rainout that they'll count. But and they could pad it if they want, but I would be very severely disappointed if it happens. So
how much of a bump do the Yankees provide? How much of a bump are they doing, like a fan appreciation day or something this weekend?
I'm sure they will. The Polaz really appreciate you.
So much. They really do.
They just took forget it, I guess.
No, so you guys will say it.
Well, they did not do something very nice to the fan base, okay?
Oh, you were going to say, like...
Yeah, I was going to say something.
They defecated on the fan base?
Yes, and it wasn't that fun.
Like, why would you... Immature. It's September 15th. We've already hammered
because I was going to say something
for 2 months, and now
out of anger and immature, and I decided not to say it. But anyway, yeah. Well, here's my Yankees question. Do the Yankees have a bunch of Minnesota fans, or fans in Minnesota, I should say, who show up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they take their Lakers shirt off and they put a Yankees shirt on.
Yep.
That's so true.
And they go to the ballpark.
But I mean, I guess that's my only question is, are you going to, because you should
what time are the Cowboys playing?
No walk.
Because if the Cowboys are playing at the same time as they are. It's a midweek. Yeah, you're good. You're clear of the Cowboys.
Shut up. I hate the Cowboys. I love the Giants. Giants, Big Blue, got to fix it.
Or Giants, I guess, would make more sense.
Giants.
But, so I legitimately, I'm curious. I think it would be a strong message by the fans to officially stamp this season the lowest attended in the history of Target Field. It would be fitting and deserved by the franchise if that was the ultimate headline on this season.
Well, that Cleveland series should draw no one. So I think it's the Yankees series, the 3 games coming up that you're fighting.
Because you have a Vikings game home on the last Sunday of the Twins' home schedule, so that's going to eat away from some fans. That's going to be.
Yes.
By the way, so they'd have to average, what did I say, just under 27,000 fans per game. They have not announced a crowd of 27,000 since Saturday, August 16th. 15th. It was a Friday night game against Detroit, and they drew 27,000 for that game. When they were pretty much still out of it, but so before that it was like Friday. It was a Friday night crowd, August 8th, but that's all like before school was back in session, and so I think we're tracking. I think we're tracking for the fans to make their statement officially, collectively, lowest attended season in the history of Target Field.
And then where they can really make the statement is the season ticket sales going into 26. That's where you can really hurt them if you want to.
If you want
to.
to.
That'd be a shame. My favorite thing is this is the type of season that deserves to have a finish that they just don't go quietly, but they just get pummeled. And I would like to say I cannot wait till September 26th through the 28th when the Twins close the season against the Fightin' Phils in Philadelphia. Harrison Bader, Max Kepler, just stick it to him. Bader's been fantastic. Good for him. He's going to the playoffs. I love that. Kepler actually, I think we talked about this with Royce on Friday. Kepler starting in August, started to come around, and he's played well. I hope the Phillies put 15 a game on these guys and just send them off 45 runs in 3 games. Bader just hitting and Kepler hitting dongs in Philadelphia. All of it. Bring it on. They deserve it. I want this season to end on a note that is just awful for the Twins. They deserve that.
Unfortunately, so the Phillies are already 12 games up. They've clinched a playoff spot. They're going to clinch a division here very soon.
Yeah.
And the Mets, holy cow! Good Lord, what a collapse! I mean, we talked about last year the Twins collapsing. Good God, the Mets are.
They're still
at
80% for one of the wild card spots, though, right?
Yeah, they've been flip flopping a little bit.
I thought about that with the Phils, but Bader especially is just going to want to beat the crap out of this team.
Yeah, it seems like he's having a lot of fun playing for a winning baseball team that cares about winning.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. So anyway.
Well, we just did a full round of our favorite current Twins things, and the Kody Clemens game couldn't get any love.
It's in my notes.
3 jacks.
It's in my notes, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. Sorry.
Was it 14 total bases in that game?
Yeah, I think he tied the Puckett record in '87 in Milwaukee.
They've had some history throughout this season. The 13-game winning streak, the Kody Clemens game.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Kody Clemens has a place on the 2026 Minnesota Twins as a starting player?
Oh, no. But I think he's a bench guy. Or I think he can be.
He probably will based on like I'm saying if you want to win games in 2026.
No, but I would have him on. But I have now changed enough. I would have him on my roster. But he's the type of dude that's played well, and you could roster him into April and May, and on June 3rd he's hitting 125 and gets DFA'd. He strikes me as a DFA guy throughout his life.
The Twins have had a million of these guys, it feels like, especially recently, where they do some things that pop. Like he's going to wind up with 20-some home runs, the 3 home run game, and he has had some big home runs, but there's no substance. It's like there's some flash there with the power, but he's going to wind up at the end of the year. He's going to wind up with, unless he gets really hot, a sub 290 on base percentage.
Yeah.
And he's been worth, to this point, he's played almost all year at this point. He's played 101 games with the Twins. And he's worth 1 win above replacement.
Yeah.
So just because you can hit 20 home runs doesn't mean, if you're not a great defensive player, if you can't get on base, move the chains in other ways, he's just kind of a hollow power guy.
He's going to be a great random twin someday, though.
He will be.
He'll be a fantastic random twin because the clues can't include Rogers. So we're gonna have to work around the fact that his dad is one of the great pitchers, of course, not in the Hall of Fame for some cheating reasons. Let's say that.
He should be in the Hall of Fame, though. Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, we could have that discussion. Yeah. I'm just saying Kody Clemens, great future of random twin.
So, least favorite thing coming up here on the SKOR North Twins Show, but running aces, Phil. We were hanging out there a couple weeks ago. Let's put a 10 on that high card, huh? Let's go here.
Yeah, running aces. They got table games. They got $1 blackjack and poker. I used to play a ton of poker there. It was really fun walking back in. The whole thing has just been beautifully renovated. 53-foot continuous LED TV wall the biggest in the state of Minnesota, perfect for football season. Yeah, we had the Purple Daily Unplugged event there a few weeks ago. There's a hotel attached. Running Aces is smoke-free, bright, energy-filled, and they have a ton of fun upcoming events at this. It's a casino scene, but not your typical casino scene, is what I would say. And I love the hotel makes it convenient if you're coming in from a longer range. Easy access off I-35 with a massive parking lot. Find out more at runaces.com. And North American Bank, if you do well at Running Aces, you go to North American Banking Company and open up a new account. 6 locations across the Twin Cities, Minnesota-based since 1998. And I've had some experiences the last couple of years where I just really want to talk to a person and not go through a series of automated, button pushing every time I want to talk to someone at my bank. And that's one of the things. You get that local personal feel at North American Banking Company with the people that handle your finances. So if you're interested in finding out more, go to nabankco.com/Mackey. That's nabankco.com/Mackey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, a lap around least favorite Twins things here. And by the way, hit the like button, subscribe button. We'll still have Twins content here on the SKOR North Twins Show YouTube channel. I am on baby watch, so my time at Target Field is a little bit up in the air for some extra innings content, but there's still plenty of content coming at you here on the SKOR North Twins Show. So thank you to those who have supported. Hit the like button and subscribe button. My least favorite thing is basically a simple question of what the hell happened to Bailey Ober. So Bailey, over his last, let's see here, it's just 13 games. I believe there might have been a relief appearance in there. Regardless, though, last 13 games, Bailey Ober has an ERA of 6.5 on the season. The Twins are 2-11 when he makes a start, which if you have a 6.5 ERA, that's going to check out. He has never been a big velocity guy. He's a big guy. Never been a big velo dude. So yes, there has been a dip in his velocity, which can cause problems. Like his fastball in his career, the hardest he ever threw was when he came into the league in 2021, and it was 92.3 miles per hour. So he's always been around 91.5 miles per hour. He's never been a high velo dude. He's typically had a really good changeup. Last year it was incredibly effective. This year it's actually still been decent, but his off speed and all other pitches have just been hammered this year. And he dealt with a mechanical issue. He dealt with a hip issue. But this was a guy who was legitimately one of the most underrated starting pitchers in baseball coming into the season. If you even look at his career numbers coming into 2025, he had a career ERA of 3.76 in 88 big league starts. It's hard to be that effective when you come up and just are great almost right away. He is broken. And I know it's there's been mechanical and a little bit of velo drop, but it's kind of puzzling to me of what the heck happened here to Bailey Ober.
It reminds me a little bit of the tale of Nick Blackburn in some ways, where if Nick Blackburn was different in some way, different era too. He was an innings-eating mid-rotation horse on a couple competitive Twins teams, the Game 163 seasons of 2008 and 2009. But the minute that he started suffering, he rode that line of like velocity, and if you're a big velo guy, you could maybe lose a couple ticks and still blow guys away. But if you're a little bit more of a weak contact guy, or pitch to contact, as they used to say organizationally back 15, 20 years ago, if you lose a little bit of velocity or a little bit of movement, it really haunts you. And Bailey Ober has had that problem this year. So the question is, does he bounce back after an offseason, get healthy, or is he not going to find that extra tick, that extra touch again, and it's going to be a Blackburn story of, remember that the 2 or 3 really good years of that one guy, and then he fell off a cliff?
And your problem now is you can't count on him for 26 in no way, shape, or form. So now he's gone from, and if you guys recall, one of the things a few months back when it wasn't this bad, we all said is, well, they haven't developed a bunch of pitching internally, but they get credit for Bailey Ober. Well, now they don't. And now there's a good chance. I mean, we don't know. But you cannot, you cannot put him in pen in the rotation now. And that's my problem with it.
Pending like some type of surgery or like off-season injury announcement or setback, I would be pretty surprised if he's not in your opening day rotation next year.
Yeah,
They're still going to give him every chance to be
What's
in
the leash then, though? It's so short.
Mm-hmm.
Well, David Festa has thoracic outlet syndrome. So
well, he's claiming it's not as bad as we all thought, that it's a kind that he doesn't need surgery. He's claiming it's not as bad. I mean,
either way, though, there's not enough like answers to the rotation to say definitively that Bailey Ober's not going to be. I'm with Dex.
He's
right,
going to be in there.
They're going to lean toward, dude, they gave Chris Paddock 4 years of chances to be in the rotation.
But you can't count on him. Like he was counted on before. Going into this year, you could count on him. I think now he's a wild card.
Yeah.
I'm putting him in pencil. I'm putting him in pencil. Some of the stuff concerns me a lot. But I mean, again, they haven't done a good enough job of developing pitching. This goes back to that same story. We're always talking about all these guys. And at the end of the day, they've done a crappy job.
I actually think they do get credit for Bailey Ober being really good for like 2 years. And then, physically, I think if it's a physical issue that has dropped him down, okay, like that happens with pitchers. But yeah, it doesn't overshadow a lot of other bad things with this front office.
Well, I was going to say, and then who replaces him? Like that's the thing is who if you have as much pitching, if you have the pitching pipeline that they would like to have, you have a guy to replace him.
Yeah,
they don't really have a guy to replace him necessarily. We'll see.
I'm going to say that my least favorite thing, it's more of a broad thing in the second half of the season, but I thought Brooks Lee was turning a corner offensively maybe a month and a half or 2 months ago, and it just hasn't. Not bailing on him. He's 24. He's super talented.
Yep.
But it just hasn't really clicked for him. And right now, depending on where you look, like Fangraphs has him as a break-even WAR player, a WAR of 0. Baseball Reference actually has him at like a -1.5 wins. Like he's been a below replacement level player because they don't love his defense as much. So if you're Brooks Lee, you have to figure out how to be a plus player offensively. And he puts the ball in play, but he just like doesn't make enough solid contact.
Yeah, that's weird.
And defensively, you'd like to see if he's not going to be as much of a hitter, or if he's like kind of a league average type hitter, need to see some really high end defense, range, everything. And I don't think it's been a total waste of a season because in some ways you just the 500 plate appearances are valuable in themselves, but next year is a huge year for him to solidify himself, not just as like a guy that exists on the team, but an actual impactful needle-moving player.
Shortstop too, still, right?
Correct. At vying for the most important position
as of right now
on the team.
My least favorite thing is, and I feel for this guy because it feels like his career's jinxed. The fact that Byron Buxton's season is just going to be completely lost by most because of this season, because of what the Twins have done, because of how they have approached their business. I mean, Byron Buxton, after all of his time, imagine, I mean, he's now deep into his career. He's 30 at this point in time? And
he'll be 32 in December.
Okay, he's going to be 32 at the start of 2026 season. He finally puts together a year where he is healthy enough, where he has this phenomenal statistical season, where he hits for power and he's stealing bases and he's doing all of the things that all-star players do, finally. And the package is absolute garbage around him. So instead of being on a playoff team, instead of Byron Buxton being a national story about, the trials and tribulations, because anyone who has watched him play, I do not think questions him. Like, well, he was trying to dog it. This guy's never dogged it. We've talked about this, right? But like you look at that season, and I'm sorry, it's lost with me. Like when I think of this team now, I just see red. And I don't mean Twins red. I mean red as in anger. And it's not even panic though. It's just like, anyway, it just.
It's like an alarm. Like you're seeing red.
It just hurts me. It hurts me that this guy, who you finally get to see sort of fulfill a potential that long ago we expected to see.
Yep.
And it's surrounded by, as Declan likes to say, a fart noise.
Yeah. He has blown by career highs in so many categories. And by the way, games played, it may not sound like much, but this is the second most games he's ever played in his 11-year big league career. 114.
Yeah, because he played what did he play in 2017? Are you looking at it?
I got 100.
Yeah, he played 140.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway,
but he was not the fully formed product and player that he is this year. So
nope.
That's also the only year, 2017, that he won a Gold Glove, because you have to be out there enough to get votes to win a Gold Glove. I think he's pretty clearly been the best defensive center fielder of his generation. But if you're not playing at least 120 games, it's hard to give a guy a Gold Glove award. It's not being out there.
Anyway.
Coach Trevor Plouffe Tuesday tomorrow on the SKOR North Twins Show. So stick around for that. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us, supporting the SKOR North Twins Show all season long. I love when we are in public or if we're doing these gatherings at events. How many of you come up and say, thank you for giving me the therapy, because I also am pissed off at this organization, but your show has been a great distraction. It's awesome. First off, I'm very thankful for it. Number one, I'm poking at that. I am incredibly grateful that you guys feel that way, because it has been a frustrating last 2 years after a really exciting year in 2023. But yes, we still are pumping out content here, so thank you to the audience, and appreciate those who maybe are just discovering, or if you're a Yankees fan, hate listening. Or laugh listening at the SKOR North Twins Show.
Hate.
You can do that too. Hit the like button, subscribe button. We'll be talking at you guys tomorrow.